and we have an explosion of a global middle class. China boasts a 250 million population middle class. It's growing to 350 million. And what you do when you gain income, the first thing you do is you upgrade the quality of your diet. Meat consumption goes up, meat demand increases, meat demand will continue to grow and increase. Wall Street looks around and says, what else is going on? And we see an acceleration of technology. When I was talking about manufacturing, I left out a fascinating but very important statistic. It's robotics. You're beginning to see some robotics on the farm now. Understand, please, that for every job that we lose offshore, which means when General Motors moves that plant to Mexico, for every one job that we lose that way, we lose 4 jobs to robotics. That's an uphill battle for Mr. Trump in trying to save the American worker. Robotics, technology, extenuating trends. You look around, you say, what's going on? Biotechnology aggressively growing. Dow's been a leader in that category. Water scarcity. Water scarcity. Clean water. I happen to believe that with the massive deregulation that's coming forth from the new EPA administrator, that the family farm is going to be in better shape. We're going to relax the rules, some of the environmental rules, and it'll make production easier, and particularly for production of livestock. I'm not as ambitious on ethanol. I still don't have a clear feel for where Mr. Trump is going with that one. And the other area is land prices. Any interest in land prices these days? Yeah, just a little. When you look at the real estate market for cropland, we had a couple of terrific years back in 13 and 14, didn't we? At least your opinion of it, whether or not it was terrific or not, depending if you were a buyer or a seller, but you had rapid price appreciation. Last quarter, real estate prices, land prices were down an average of 3%. I think that trend continues for a little bit longer. You see, I'm dealing with China in transition, the U.S. in transition, but is agriculture really in transition, or where are we in the cycle? Wall Street's proxy for the agricultural industry is John Deere and the price of John Deere stock. Anybody notice the price of John Deere stock lately? It's at a high. It's at an all-time high. Does that conform with what you're finding out in the family farm these days? No. Why? Because Wall Street practices a philosophy called discounting. Wall Street, the prices of stocks, the prices of the forecast are based not on what's happening today, but what's happening tomorrow. And I happen to think that agriculture has got a far better tomorrow. In fact, I happen to believe that agriculture is on the verge of a golden age. Part of it's the natural long-term global demographic trend. Part of it's the new regulatory environment that it's going to find itself in. And part of it is the fact that we're very early in the cycle, but I'm beginning to look for recovery. Take a look at fundamental prices. Price of corn. Now, some of you may disagree, and if you do, please raise your hand. The break-even on corn is drawn from $3.50 a bushel to $2.75 a bushel. Close? No, you're just staring at me blankly. Is that about right, though? I'm still getting blanks. All right. Corn's what, about $3.67 now? I'm a technician. Most of you are, hopefully you're familiar with the charts. Corn's got support at $3.12. I happen to think corn prices are headed north. Wheat's at $4.33 a bushel. Support is at $3.94. Soy's in a major uptrend, current price around 10.70. You just had the major floods in Argentina. The result is that soy seems to be headed up. Huge support, triple bottom at $9.90. I'm optimistic on soy. Cattle, the trend line is straight up. Hogs are in a tight trading range of 62 cents to 66 cents. What's my overall view for agriculture? I'm positive. I'm a little early on the call, but I think things are going to be getting better, despite the fact of a stronger dollar and despite the fact of interest rates beginning to go back up, oil prices going down.